rickshaw here on the 30th of August 2022, and we had our day of the LTO. We took the tricycle down the LTO this morning after we took the boys to school, and we went up to the guy. Had to wait in line. So a couple little tips on a tricycle. The first tip is make sure you get an electric start. You can buy a motorbike here without electric start, but while we were waiting in the line, and you're only moving forward half a car length at a time, and this poor guy in front of us on this old beater tricycle, he was kick starting it, and this thing was taking 7 to 10 kicks to turn this thing over. Some of them started on the first one, but this one wasn't, so I would recommend you get a Kickstarter. But we got up through the line, and we had talked to the guy before. My wife talked to him, said, yeah, come back here and get it done instead of Maduro. And then I went back to make sure my wife didn't miss anything. Maddie and I were out riding the bike one day, and we just said, oh, we're going to go over the LTO. And that older fellow there, he's a tall fella. He's pretty sharp. His English is pretty good, too. And I asked him, I said, what all do we need? And he wanted to make sure we had the sales receipt from the builder. He didn't say anything else, and then come back here. Okay, great. So we came back. We went down there this morning, and guess what it turns out you need? You need an affidavit from the seller. And an affidavit, I always thought somebody would go to a notary, and they would sign it, and the notary would stamp it, and it's as good as you being there. It's an affidavit. Guess what? Not here. They want the dude here. So that turned into a real mess. So we wound up going back to the guy. Hey, you're the one who told us to do this. So they worked a little bit of magic and stuff. We had to leave. They sent us over to one LTO. They couldn't help us. There's 3 of them here. And then that one of them was just in a terrible place to try to drive through on the trike. No matter what you were driving, it just was a nightmare, except a motorcycle. And no parking at all. Had to drop my wife off and just keep circling until she was done. And then she said, no, this is the wrong place. So they told her of another one. Well, we had to pick the boys up. So we did that. And then we went to this other one, and we took care of that. And we're going back to the LTO. Now all we got to do is pay, but the computers are down. And that's a normal thing. This happened to us 5 times already, where we went in. I went in for my driver's license the one time, and sorry, computer's down. They don't tell you. You're sitting there, and then when they go out, it's just go home. Computers are down. So you got to come back. I feel bad for people who got to take off work to do this because they only work during business hours. So that's kind of tough. But we're supposed to be able to go down. If the computers are up tomorrow, then we just pay. We pay again. We did get an affidavit from a local builder to make this thing work. The hoops you do have to jump through, but it's the nature of the Philippines. I've noticed it since I've been here. They dot their I's and cross their T's, and it's just amazing. But if they miss something, I don't care. You just got to do it. But we spent an entire day doing all this stuff. We just got home. It's after 4 o'clock already. We got home about a half an hour ago. And we started at 8 o'clock this morning. We dropped the boys off at 15 minutes of 8. We were on the road at 8 o'clock. We were very early, but we hit a bad day for this because today's the last day for registration on some vehicles, so the place was just absolutely packed. And but no, you have to have an affidavit from the builder. They need 2 forms ID, and for us it became a problem because it was all the way down in Maduro. But if you have one built locally, they should know. Our builder should have known that too. The guy who built, he should have known he had to do that. He never said a word to us. LTO didn't say a word to us until we find out today. So don't get caught up in that. But I did talk to him while I was waiting on my wife and about the lights. And they were no problem with adding extra blinkers. They didn't want these ones turned off. I said that might be confusing if the right blinker's over there and then here. And he's, nope, don't turn them off. So he didn't have a problem with that. And what I'm thinking of doing with this blinker, these lights are really bright, but they're just a blinker, not a running light. I'd like to get another one for up here too. One of the problems in this country is those lights are kind of low. The brake lights will be down there. I might put a second set up here. I'm going to get somebody to build me a battery box and put it right there. I don't like the idea of a battery just loose. I want to have it put in, and then of course locked, because it'll disappear on you if you don't have it locked. They'll cut your cords. It's gone. So I want to definitely have a box I could put a lid, as long as it's vented, because it's a lead acid battery and it needs vented. But I didn't get the NiCad one or the lightweight ones because the cost was just absolutely ridiculous. I talked to a buddy in the States, and he said he bought a real good one for his motorcycle, and it was like $65. And I said, it's more than double that here. And there are some other brands, but if you look at the comments on Lazada, they're just saying trash. They're not what they say they are. A lot of this stuff comes out of China and they're crap. But this is the battery I got's a Filipino. It says made in Philippines right on it. It's a nice heavy battery. It's a 20 amp hour, 12 volt. They also sold a 9 amp hour for a lot less. Well, it wasn't really that much less, but a couple dollars less. But I thought I'll get this extra one, then I don't have to worry about charging it. But I've been going back and forth with Kenneth Luttrell. He's on the channel. He's the resident solar guru. He runs an electric buggy, and he knows how to do controllers and all that stuff. And he sent me a bunch of stuff, but I want to get a rollout solar, and then I'll run it down the pipe, and just for a trickle charger, and have a switch on it, and buy a controller. He sent me a bunch of stuff on Messenger with the different controllers that you could use. So hey, thanks a lot, Kenneth. I appreciate you taking the time to send me that. He was even sending me pictures from Lazada where I could get it. And if you do find something you like, like I was in I bought a sprayer. I went into the store and I looked at this sprayer and I thought, oh, that's a nice sprayer. Out of all the sprayer, the little garden sprayers, the ones you pump up. I said, this one looks really robust, and it was made in Japan, and it just seemed, compared to all the rest of them, it seemed like, boy, this is the best one. Well, it was pretty expensive. So I took a picture of it, and when I got back to the car, I went ahead and went on Lazada, and I put that picture in there, and they found it for a third of what they wanted at the store. And it came the other day. The kids and I were squirting each other with it. It works good. But we found one of the subscribers sent me a thing on there, because I had made a video before about not wanting to use harsh chemicals and deadly chemicals to kill the grass, because I'm gonna have a garden in there and all that, but the road, and I'm like, I don't want any deadly chemicals to build, get that grass out of there. And he said, and I ordered the stuff, everything came for it except the vinegar. I'll buy that at the store. But you take a gallon of white vinegar, 2 cups of Epsom salt, and a 1/4 cup of Dawn dishwashing liquid. And he said you spray that with a sprayer on that grass, and he says the next day it's all dead. And I'm thinking that would be a little bit better than some of the stuff they sell that it's got skull and crossbones on it and all these hazards. So, and I don't want anything that the kids can't walk on. Epsom salt is just magnesium hydrate or something. So that's not going to be that big of a deal. And hopefully that'll kill that, because we want to chip that. We'll chip that up. I used to, when I lived out in the Midwest, I used to take old used motor oil or even gasoline, because I would get big in the cracks here in the driveway. It would throw big things of grass in a matter of days. Give it a little shot of gas. I mean, just a spritz, and boom, that grass is done for. But I don't want to spray. I don't want to spray that on there. I don't want to do any kind of gasoline on there. There's a house right there on our right of way, and I just don't need the headaches. So thank you. I can't remember right now who it was who sent me that. I'd have to go look again. And but that's pretty cool. But we had the machine. We were able to open her up a little bit today. We took the back way around Lipa, and we had some good open roads, and we were buzzing. It went up to speed really good. That little tiny bit of a gear change on the front was fantastic on this thing. Just unbelievable. It's running really good. It's not like the other one. The other one I could actually cruise at 50 miles per hour. It would hold that. This one here, cruises about 35. Just that's seat of the pants because my speedometer, I haven't gotten that cable yet. But about 35, and if you hit any kind of incline, you're down to about 30. It just doesn't have the guts. I didn't get the TMX 150, although I think it's a fantastic motorcycle. It's the shift patterns. You get, in the U.S., every single bike I had was 1 down, 4 up, or 1 down, 5 up, like that. Here, this one here, all the way down is neutral, and then 1 up is first, 2 up is second, third and fourth, like that. It's a 4-speed. And the first gear is kind of like a creeper gear, so it works great in traffic. We were stuck in some pretty serious traffic, and having that real low granny gear. You can easily start out in second gear, especially if you're on level or down a hill. I wouldn't even bother with first, but that's working really good. And we're liking the trike. I want to get it lit. We'll do some night cruises in it. The kids like to, and just as long as it's lit up really well, and I get the battery in there secured. I'll have one of these local welder guys make me a hook, sit it on a hook, and then I'll bolt it from the other side. Bolt right into the back of the box, and that way, nobody can grab it, but I'll be able to take it off if I need to, and in case if I want to move it, anything like that. But just hook like that over the bar. I'll put a piece of inner tube on there so it doesn't scuff everything up too bad. And we're doing good. LTO, they were fine with the lights. You go right ahead. So I'm happy with that. And when I get her done, we're waiting. It just said that it left China on its way to the Philippines, the lights, and that's about all I have come. That and the switch. I bought they had a really nice knife switch, just like on electrical and all that, but they had a push button one also that was rated for 10 amps, which I'm not even going to be pulling 10 amps through there, no way. But I didn't want to get one of the little cheap ones that are only an amp or two and then burn the switch out and be stuck somewhere with no switch and have to hardwire it in. So I wanted to make sure that was was done, have a good switch, and it wasn't too bad. It's even got a clamp that's supposed to go on your motorcycle, and it's lit. I'll put it on one of the bars there so we can turn things on. I will have a disconnect, just a pull disconnect on it, so I can shut it off. But having these running lights, this is something that was in my mind when we're stopped on the side of the road. Let's say we got a flat or something. In order to have any power, even your headlight, you got to have the motor running, and I don't want to sit there with the motor running while I'm having to work on the bike. So this way I'll have my running lights are going to be, and my headlights are going to be powered just by the battery. That way if somebody's coming up behind, they're going to see it. Plus I have some really nice triangle things that are in the car, and I saw them at the hardware store. I said next time we go, if we're up that way payday, I'm going to pick up a couple more of them and make a rack on the back that they'll hang there while I'm driving, the triangle slow moving vehicle, and then also they're on a pedestal so you can put them out on the road in case something happens, in case you get a flat or something. And I'm slowly getting the tools in the box. I'm thinking of getting a 50 caliber ammo box. They're pretty cheap here. You can get them on Lazada for $5-6. They got 30 caliber and 50, and I said that'll be a nice box for tools. I'm taping every tool I use on the bike. I'm putting a piece of tape on it so that when I get ready, get a box for it. I'm going to put them all in the box, put a lock on it. You guys, when you come here too, I'm just reiterating again, when you come here and you want to bring tools like I did, I sent 20 Billy Bond boxes over, sent everything to my wife, and all the standard ones. I've never used them. Don't use them. The only standard I've used, I got 1.25 inches in here that I stick underneath the rail so I can stand it up. You can't use the center stand on the bike. It's worthless now. There's no way you can get it up on the center stand. So you just pick up on it, put a wrench under there to hold it up in the air. And that's all I'm using the standard wrenches for. So don't even bother bringing them unless you know you're going to have a Chrysler or something here. And even the Chryslers here, I asked a guy one day, it's metric underneath their hood. I don't know where they're made, but they're metric here. So don't bother with, you can save half the weight of your tools. I got I got 100 pounds of tools in there that are all standard that are worthless. But I did bring my standard, and I also got my set of metric crescent wrenches, so I'm good. Same way with my channel locks. I got the metric and the standard, so Rickshaw is on the ball. But that's about it for today. Just make sure you get that affidavit if you're getting a trike built. My first trike, I didn't have to get it because I bought it right through the dealership. They already did it. That's why we didn't know about it. So that was already done, and that guy was right up the road from the dealership, so he was able to go down there because they want a picture of him. They want a picture of him. They want 2 forms ID. They want the affidavit. When I was in the States, if you go to a notary to get an affidavit, it's so you don't have to show up. You know, well, that's what an affidavit is. But here, he's got to bring an affidavit in person to the LTO. So, hey guys, it's their way. So I'm gonna let you go, and it was a heck of a day. It was a long day, guys, and I'm telling you, I'm whipped. And this is Rickshaw out.